Okay, so I think it's recording. All right. Today I wanted to discuss a book I just read. I actually just finished reading the rest of it today. Really good book called Vegan for Life. It's Vegan for Life, Everything You Need to Know to Be Healthy and Fit on a Plant-Based Diet by Jack Norris, registered dietitian, and Virginia Messina, registered dietitian, MPH. This book is definitely a book promoting veganism and a vegan lifestyle, but it's more based on the nutritional aspect, and I found it very educational. This book, it was a pretty easy read too, just because maybe it's just because I really have an interest in nutrition now, and it's really sparked my interest, and maybe that's why it was an easy read for me because. It was definitely more on the informative side of things than anything else. And they talk about, they mention a lot about scientific studies and the actual science behind things, and how they work. And they go into, I like how in this book, they go into all the nutrients that you would need. Like, they cover your protein, your vitamin B12 that a lot of vegans are concerned about, iron, just different vitamins, calcium, all that stuff is in here. They also go into about soy-based products, soy and the isoflavones or phytoestrogens contained in those products, and about the soy to date, if it's good or bad for you, and what would be, so you can make an educational or educated decision about what soy you want to include in your diet or whatnot. So I found it very good to read. They also, they talk about sports nutrition here. So if you're into lifting weights like I'm into now, or endurance training, anything like that, they talk about what things could be of help to you, or just general guidelines for a vegan diet. They talk about raising vegan kids and teenagers vegan. They also talk about people over the age of 50 and what might be beneficial for them to consider in their vegan lifestyle. Basically, it just adapts the vegan lifestyle to anybody who wants to be vegan but also be really healthy, so that you can be smart and vegan at the same time, and also just ultimately set a good example of a healthy, happy vegan, which is ultimately what we want to do if we're promoting it anyway. Let's see here. They talk about making the transition for people who want to know about that. Oh, I forgot. They talk about vegan diets in pregnancy and breastfeeding, which could be good for people who want to stay true to their values and stay vegan when they're pregnant, but are concerned about, they don't want to compromise, obviously, the health of their child in the process. And it talks about how many people have gone through vegan pregnancies just fine and raised healthy vegan kids into adulthood. They talk about health benefits of a vegan diet, managing weight, heart disease, and diabetes. And the thing is, this book's pretty unbiased though, because even though it is, it promotes a healthy vegan lifestyle, it does say about, what you need to look out for, or what you should do to prevent, any deficiencies, or anything. It doesn't act like, oh, la-ti-da, once you go vegan, everything is all sunshine and rainbows, and everything's perfect, and you don't have to think about anything or do any work. And, it does emphasize a well-planned vegan diet, as well as being active and exercising, and just having overall healthy lifestyle. So, I really liked this book. I think that any vegan should probably read it, because it gives you insight into the nutritional aspects and really the tools to be a healthy vegan. And honestly, I've read quite a few books now about veganism, and I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable on the topic at this point. But I learned stuff in this book. I learned stuff about your iron absorption, like how I have a tendency to drink a lot of tea. I learned not to drink tea during meals, but between them, because the tannins in tea can interfere with non-heme iron absorption, which non-heme iron is the iron found in plants as opposed to heme iron found in animal foods. Whereas the non-heme iron can be a little not as easy to absorb. But what you can do is, well, first off, not drink the tea with the meals. Drink it in between that, so the tannins in the tea aren't inhibiting your iron absorption. But also that eating foods that are rich in vitamin C with your sources of iron will boost the iron absorption, because vitamin C helps you absorb the non-heme iron. So anyway, before I could get kind of really into this on you, and it might bore some people. So just a little bit of information. I'm not gonna keep going on everything, but just, it was really cool because I learned some stuff that I definitely will incorporate into my own lifestyle, I think, and for the better. Then also, not just the science, but towards the end, they do talk about, why vegan, why would you do that, what the reasons are behind it, the arguments, ethical reasons, animal cruelty, all that stuff. But I just want to bring up something and end here that was unique and interesting, because it very well matches my views on why I went veganism in the first place, and what really inspired me, even when I was vegetarian, to stop eating flesh and then go on to being vegan when I learned about dairy. And the viewpoint, it's really cool to see that somebody else actually had a theory based on this concept, so it's not just me thinking whatever. But I'm just going to read this excerpt here because I found it really fascinating and important. It says, in his book, A Theory of Justice, John Rawls puts forth a moral philosophy based on a hypothetical original position. In this scenario, the person who makes the moral rules for a society does so without prior knowledge of who they will be in that society. So place yourself in this original position. You are making decisions about whose interests will be deemed important without knowing what color your skin will be, whether you'll be a mentally challenged person, male or female, or a cow or chicken, or tree or rock. So you wouldn't know at all. You wouldn't even know if you're human or anything. And the whole premise of this is that the only safe way to protect your interests then would be to give equal consideration to the interests of all. In this situation, you would clearly feel a strong imperative towards making things as fair as possible for everyone. So, to clarify this right away, we can dismiss the needs of rocks, since rocks have no needs. They're just there. Plants are similar to rocks. They don't have brains or the capacity to feel pain. They can't avoid mutilation, so it would serve no purpose for them to fear it or suffer from it. Does anyone really believe that mowing a lawn causes plants similar agony to that of cutting off the limbs of animals or humans? I mean, come on. While we don't understand everything about the needs of animals, we know they can experience pain and fear. Is that reason enough to consider their interests? If you put yourself in the original position, knowing that you may end up as a cow or a pig, it's very likely that you consider the interests of these animals to be important. And that's exactly how I feel. We don't know. Plus, what if there is reincarnation? We don't know that. And I do believe in karma. So you come back, and you're not. Why do people think they're guaranteed this human status? Or like we're above everything else in the animal kingdom? Like shit, we're just animals too. And probably the lesser of some of them, because really, who hurts the environment and the world and kills its own kind more than humans? But I could go into that a whole different day, and I'm going to take this back to the library and stuff to do. But I just wanted to get that in there real quick, and I felt like the theory of the positions was really interesting. So I thought I'd throw that out there, a little something to think about. Like, Vegan for Life, read it, and think about it. If you're not vegan already, or even if you are, what if you hypothetically did not know what you were going to be born as? Human, cat, dog, pig, cow, chicken, God forbid, a fish, a tree, a rock, whatever. then whose interest would you protect?